All right, welcome back. Joining us right now is my guest. Of course, we'll be looking at e-commerce industry in Nigeria. That I did read a report some time ago, just 3-4 months ago, precisely in May actually. One of the CEOs of an online company, an e-commerce company, did say that e-commerce industry would be worth about 2.5 trillion naira in 2018. That's in the excess of $15 billion, so to speak. So I'm looking at the e-commerce industry today in the country. I would also look at online shopping, so to speak. Ejiro Benedio is joining me, a software developer. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you. Welcome to the program. Where do we start from? Let me start from what I just said. The report, 2.5 trillion naira, the industry e-commerce will be worth in 2018. That's just 2 years down the line. Should we start taking e-commerce seriously?
Of course, we should start taking e-commerce very serious. And I think one area the government needs to come in is regulating that sector. I think the government needs to seriously take that sector and begin to regulate activities within that sector. Because I discovered that most times people shy away from, especially when it comes to online shopping, they shy away from doing business online, probably buying something, a product online, because they feel, I hope I'm safe. I hope I can use my MasterCard or Visa card, and things won't go haywire after this. You know, so I think it's a sector that needs to be well regulated and identified by the government and well regulated.
What is e-commerce? Let me start from there, because some people will say, what are we talking about now? What is e-commerce? Is e-commerce that has gone electronic?
Well, you have just said it, electronic commerce.
Yes, the simplified form, isn't it?
Electronic commerce.
But is it not, doesn't it encompass, it encompasses more than that, what I just said?
Yes, it does. Electronic commerce simply is buying and selling, leveraging the internet, as in doing it online. And most times when people talk about e-commerce, the first thing that comes to their mind is online shopping, but it goes beyond that. You know, it goes beyond that. When you are booking your flights, that's e-commerce. You know, so it goes beyond just maybe going to one popular shopping cart and buying a laptop there or buying something there. It transcends so many other sectors. Even when you are paying your child's school fees online, that's e-commerce. You know, so it's a very, very broad sector. But probably because of what we're looking at today, we'll look at just online shopping. And I think what we should be able to encourage people to do, probably by result of watching your show this morning, is to encourage more sellers, not just buyers. Nigeria is...
More sellers, you mean more people should create their businesses online?
Businesses, you know, businesses online. Nigeria is more like a consuming nation. We are always consuming, and so when it comes to e-commerce, it's almost like that, or use of the internet. Most of the time when people go online, they are either Facebooking or doing WhatsApp using their mobile phones and all that. We should begin to reposition to sell not just to Nigeria, but to the world at large.
Especially now that we're in an economic recession.
Yes.
How fundamental is it? Because now that we have an economic recession, people may not have enough money to rent shops or to rent office spaces, and all of that. So we can begin to see people handle their businesses from home. So far you have a mobile device.
Probably tablets, even a phone.
A phone.
Yes. You know, you can, you know, using your phone, using your tablets, you can set up a merchant account with a B2B platform. There are so many B2B, there are so many B2B platforms available. The popular Jumia is there. They allow merchants to come in, Konga. Then there are also very good Nigerian platforms like eMall.
You don't need to advertise them.
It's okay. I won't mention any. You know, but you see, I have a passion for Nigerian businesses. You know, Jumia is still not, it's a good platform, but I want to see more.
It's not totally Nigerian.
Yes, I want to see
Okay.
more of Nigerian businesses thriving in the e-commerce platform.
Okay, so we'll come back to that, made in Nigeria businesses, so to speak,
Yes.
having more space on e-platforms.
Yes, on our e-platforms.
Yes, but for those watching and you want to contribute, please, you can do that. Tweet me right now. My handle on Twitter is @Nansilo. Tell us what you think. I'll be talking about online shopping in a bit, because just like we said, e-commerce is quite broad.
Very broad.
But what we've seen in the last 3 years or so has been that advancement of online shopping in Nigeria.
Yeah.
What actually is online shopping?
Well, basically, online shopping is buying a product and probably services, acquiring services online using an online shopping platform. I don't want to mention names, but Jumia is very, very popular, So all you need is probably signing up. You could even sign up with your Facebook account. Instead of going to fill a very long form, just sign up with your Facebook account, and that's just all you need. You start going through products. You see anyone you love, anyone you like, you click on it, you add to cart, you pay, as in you check out. There's also a good point these days, especially with our Nigerian environment where people are scared of paying before seeing their products. You can tick the option of getting the products delivered to you before even payment is done.
That's pay on delivery.
You pay on delivery.
But since the economic recession now, we've seen, at least from my own point of view, I don't know, that's what I've noticed in the last 1.5 years, that the development in the e-commerce or online shopping sector has also gone down.
Yes.
Nigerians aren't shopping online
just like
as
every other sector
has gone down.
People don't go to markets as they used to do before. So it's not just a problem with the sector, it's like a general problem with the economy. But I think this is a time where, like I said, we should reposition to begin to sell. There are so many Nigerians with very unique products. From time to time, I stumble on young people who do very unique things. They do beads, beaded bags, paintings. They do so many things. Some even offer special services, training services. You could use online platforms to leverage, increase your visibility. Increase your visibility. Because so many persons, they would want to get your product, but they don't even know such a product is existing. They don't even know, probably, because most of our Nigerian products, probably I'm wrong, but most of the Nigerian products I know are cheaper than what you pay to get some outside. Even some of these products we get outside, they are Nigerian products that have been taken to probably Dubai, and you go over and you buy, and they ship them down to you again. So I think we should now reposition to begin to sell to Nigerians and to the world at large. And most times we think it's a rocket science. It's not a rocket science. The same simple process it takes to set up your account to become a consumer, as in to buy, the same simple process it takes to begin to sell. It's just for you to register a merchant account. And after registering your merchant account, you begin to upload your products. Just like you upload your pictures on Facebook and WhatsApp, it's that easy. You just upload your products and you put the prices and probably descriptions there. So it's very easy, but some persons think, oh, it's going to be a rocket science. I need to learn, get some extra skills, computer skills to do that. You don't really need to get those skills to do that.
Now, let's talk about skills. Now, for you to have an online business, so to speak, or operate your business in an e-form, you don't need to be skilled, is that it?
You don't really need
or you need to be semi-skilled, because
okay,
yes,
let me go with your word, semi-skilled. You should be able to at least create an account, as in just log in to create an account, so you can log in and log out. And just like the way you operate your Facebook and your WhatsApp, it's just all about snapping your products and uploading, fixing the prices, putting the descriptions there. That's just all you need,
What are the hindrances to the advancement of e-commerce in Nigeria, or online businesses, so to speak? Because one may say poor infrastructure, data penetration, though Nigeria has been adjudged as one of the countries on the continent whereby we have high data or internet penetration and all of that. So the hindrances, how would it affect?
Well, just like you've just listed some, but I think the most critical one is the system. Most people, they don't trust the system. If we just take a little sampling of opinions, you discover that so many persons are afraid of doing online business. They just feel, oh, going online is risky, you know. So I think the system, like I said initially, has to be regulated so that when people go to do business online, they feel safe. You know, things like endorsement from probably any of the ministries, an existing ministry, or even NCC on shopping sites, online shopping sites, will go a long way, you know, to help that sector. And once that recognition is given to that sector, I tell you, it will grow.
So do you think recognition has not been given yet?
No, recognition has
What
not
kind
been
of
given.
recognition do you want, especially, or what kind of attention do you want, especially from the ICT ministry?
Yeah, I want a situation where government activities, especially products relating to ministries, MDAs, I want a situation where they are being done online, where people can go online, probably just like you see JAMB these days. People can now, because it's JAMB, when they have to pay, they can now bring out their MasterCard to say, okay, let me try and do payments because it's JAMB. So if we have more of that, you know, we're still too much on the side of getting to go to an office to do something. You know, you want
Okay,
to...
are you saying that more of government services should be done online?
Online.
If I want to pay my electricity bills, I can do that online.
It's already existing.
Yes,
We need
it's
more of
existing. We need more of it.
More of it.
Isn't it?
More
Pay
of
my
it.
taxes online.
More of
Pay,
it.
you know,
You know,
more of those things.
More of those things. And endorsements should come in. So that if you want to float a shopping cart, you should be able to register with probably NCC so that they have their logo endorsed by, you know, so it's more like a security trust for anybody who comes to that web page and I want to begin to buy and...
Just like NDIC does for the banks.
Yes.
That when you go to a bank, you see that NDIC logo.
NDIC logo.
Yes.
That tells you the government, they are already involved in this.
Okay.
You know, but when it comes to e-commerce as at now, it's more like a private run business. Anybody can just come up, set up a shopping cart, which is good, but no regulation. So that is where fraud can come in. I can place products on my shopping cart and somebody will pay for it and never see my website by the next day and see the products. So I think the government needs to come in from that angle.
Have we seen more of that? Because the industry or the sector has to go on so much trust.
Yeah.
Why do you think that Nigerians have distrust, especially passing away with their money without seeing the product? Because I know most of the companies now do pay on delivery.
Yeah, they do pay on delivery.
Until I see, then I pay.
Then I pay, yeah. Well, I think it's not just a problem with the e-commerce sector. It's a general problem. Trust. You understand? So I think by the time we have more players coming to this platform, you know, showcasing their businesses, creating a trend that attracts customers and consumers, and the government now comes in to begin to regulate, I believe it will now become, you know, an environment where it becomes a relevant sector to the economy.
Okay. What for us to promote the e-commerce industry, I do also think that data should be cheap.
Well,
yes or no?
I wanted to say that, but I had to refrain because that has to do more with the policymakers. Probably, if they are watching this, I think it's something that has been said from time to time. Our tariffs are too high. It's something
even at this point, because I know that most of the companies operating in the telecoms industry have dropped their data rates.
But
if you've noticed that, but it's still too high.
Yes, still too high. You know, most times I have friends outside the country, and when they send a very large file and I tell them, oh, I will need this to download this, and it's very expensive, they say, what? Is that what you pay to get internet? You know, and all that. So I think that is one area that has to do with the policymakers. They have to look into it and really bring down our tariff rates so that it will encourage SMEs, young persons, individuals, sole entrepreneurs to begin to look into that sector. But when you look at it at an overall comparison, looking at going to probably rent an office at this time, paying staff and all the logistics involved and even power and all that, you discover that it's still cheaper to maintain an online store.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, let's go back to what I said earlier, which is made in Nigeria, products and services that we need to encourage now to go more online. It's not about the buying part of it. Like you said that we have more buyers online than more sellers of goods and services. What do we do now, or what can you say to our viewers now to promote made in Nigeria products and services online on the selling part of it, and not some companies coming into Nigeria overtaking us, so to speak, that are foreign?
Yes. I think that is what this program will achieve at the end of the day, making people understand that it's a sector anybody can become a player. You don't need 5,000 to own an online store. You don't even need 1,000 to own an online store. You don't need any money. In fact,
I need money to buy data now.
Well, but you chat with WhatsApp.
Yes, but it's on data. It's not on.
So if you can do WhatsApp, you can do Facebook, you can run an online store.
I can. Okay, that's the point.
That's what I'm trying to say. You know, so all you need is just that little skill to create an account, to set up an account and to upload pictures, set up your prices and all that. Then there's also another salient point here, technically, and that is the issue of accepting money, especially if you want to be accepting money online
payments.
You know, that has been one very discouraging factor for businesses before now, because when you want to register, you want to set up the process to receive money. With InterSwitch, you have to pay about 150,000 naira. With probably GT Bank that tries to bring down the cost, you pay about 75,000 naira. But we have third-party vendors these days that help to leverage all that cost. You don't have to pay. I don't want to mention names, but you don't have to pay anything. They just give you probably a script and you set it up in your site. That is for those that want to run individual shopping carts. You don't want to go to a B2B platform like Jumia or Konga. You want to set up a personal account. So you don't really need to pay any money, like the 75,000, the 300,000, whatever you have to pay to InterSwitch to begin to process funds and accept funds. So that's one very salient area where I think our viewers need to consider and know that it's not like it used to be, where they have to go and look for money just to set up a processing back end for their payments.
Don't you think there's a need for training at all? Do you think there's a need for training, of course, for people perhaps that own SMEs to own businesses online? Is there no need of training?
Well, there is a need, but the truth is that there's nothing you cannot do today online. I just read about... You can
actually also train online.
You can train yourself online. I read of one of the Olympic participants that learned how to, I think, javelin or one of these sports.
Okay, the Kenyan guy.
Yes.
The javelin athlete.
By just watching YouTube.
Yes, on YouTube. He had no coach. I've forgotten his name, yes. He won a gold medal for Kenya.
Yes, so if you are serious, you can...
He trained himself just watching YouTube.
Just watching YouTube.
The Kenyan athlete,
Yeah, but if you feel, okay, I need to get somebody to get me trained, there are so many qualified ICT experts that can help you. You can also outsource to Nigerian ICT experts as well. Not outsourcing to, I don't want to call any country. You understand? We have experts here in Nigeria that can help businesses set up, anything that relates to e-commerce, online shopping, at very reasonable and affordable costs.
Okay, I'll come back to you in a moment, but let me quickly take most comments on Twitter. A lot of people are tweeting. Okay, Nancy Bassi says, Nancy, another boring issue with the e-commerce. With e-commerce is public awareness and participation. What is the government doing to address it? A
That's
fantastic
what I was saying.
question.
The government is not giving attention to that sector.
The government is not.
They are not.
What part of government should do that? Is it the ICT ministry?
Well, the
Or the
ICT.
or government itself in totality? Because government should also be e-government,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Even NITSDA.
Yes, that's
yeah,
NITSDA.
yeah,
NITSDA.
yeah. They should be able to come up with conferences.
I think they are doing that.
Well,
Or it's
most
not
of the
enough.
time you just hear these things happening in Abuja. They should be able to take it to state levels. They should be able to, you know, make noise about it and create that awareness, just like when they are getting people prepared for INEC voting and all that. They should take that serious as that.
Serious as that.
You know.
Okay, IX Media says Nigeria needs an internet and online solutions for Nigerian problems, not a copy and paste approach.
Yeah, well, I think what this person is trying to talk about is really going very, very technical. Most of the time, even the ICT industries in Nigeria, they tend to outsource or they bring in expatriates. It's not like we don't have the capacity here.
Do we have the capacity?
We have the capacity.
As in,
we have the
100% capacity?
100% capacity.
Why I'm saying so is because, of course, from the countries that are advanced now in IT or e-commerce, you're talking about the US, you're talking about China. Because I do think that about 70% of Americans shop online.
Yes.
So to speak, you're talking also about China, the likes of Alibaba and all of that. So have we gotten to that level?
We have not gotten to that
level.
Where
we're still saying, let's shop more online.
Technically, we have not gotten to that level.
Do we have capacity to that level?
But we have the capacity.
What do you mean by capacity now?
Now, we have the capacity because we have the technical know-how. We have the technical know-how, but we need to build this capacity towards that level. Like one of the things that Nigeria we're still lacking is we don't have data centers where you have servers running. You know, that Nigerian servers, most of the time when you register a site, it's actually running in the US or running in China. So when it comes to infrastructure, that is where I feel we need to build capacity. Okay. But when it comes to technical know-how, experience, exposure, we have the experts.
All right, Deji Deola says, pay on delivery. What happens to small startups when products ordered are not taken, or when the buyer suddenly changes mind?
Well, there's always should I say, a negative aspect, a disadvantage to any system you want to operate. If you feel you don't have the capacity to manage that, then you shouldn't operate pay on delivery. Pay before delivery. You should operate pay before delivery. Then also we have companies that have come in to subsidize that sector. I still don't want to mention names. You know, they help with deliveries, just deliveries. All you need to pay is just a little stipend. They pick your products, take it to the consumers when they order. And if they reject, they bring it back. And they don't charge ridiculous, they don't make ridiculous charges on that. You know, it's more like a one-off fee you pay at the beginning. Then after that, they begin to share somehow profits with you. I don't want to mention names so that I don't advertise anybody here.
Okay, moving over to Osato, he says, if NCC has to approve licenses for e-commerce platforms, makes it much harder to build platforms. Bad idea, we are not there yet.
Well, I'm not talking about over-regulation. I hope I'm using the right language. Regulation to enforce basic standards, not to frustrate the effort of small and medium enterprises or businesses, but just to enforce standard and to endorse that sector. We have little or no endorsement when it comes to online shopping websites, online shopping businesses.
We have little
or no endorsements.
Or no endorsements.
You know, so people only feel safe when they go to probably a banking website to pay. Or they go to maybe QuickTeller or...
Why do you think it's like that?
It boils down to the endorsement issue.
Endorsements.
It boils down
Will
to
only endorsements solve that matter?
It goes a long way. It goes a long way to
solve
it.
Or perhaps because we see those operators as institutionalized.
Yes, institutionalized, and we feel anybody coming in is not credible after them, which is wrong. We should be able to, and the government should be able to encourage these small, medium businesses, enterprises. If the government can be thinking of coming up with a bill to regulate social media, then I think they should be thinking of this. I don't know about that, but if they could come up with that.
I think they've subpedaled on it.
If they could think about that, then they should be thinking more of this.
Okay. BAPS report says, to your guests, as of today, internet population is estimated at what percent people, and out of which, how many people use internet daily? Perhaps for BAPS report, the answer could be, I know that NCC last year did say that we have about 97 million people that use the internet. I think as of last year, I don't know if I've seen a report, but in the range of over 90 million people using internet in Nigeria. So that means that you have a market of 97 million
persons,
so to speak. I hope that's making sense. Okay, that's it. 97 million internet users in Nigeria as at September 2015. BAPS report, I hope I've answered your question. That's a business opportunity. Eze Michael says, I think the major problem rocking e-commerce today is not just economic recession, but the lack of trust and product ingenuity, which you've talked about. Mara Main says, ask him to localize shopping carts and e-commerce application development in Nigeria to promote local content. Praise says, good morning, Nancy. That's a nice topic. Please ask your guests, is there anybody guiding these online shops to avoid fraud? That's what we've been talking about.
That's what we've been talking about.
Isn't it?
No proper regulation.
Okay, Salahuddin says the government needs to regulate e-commerce, improve power, and educate the populace on its advantage. Tatafo Naija says, Nancy, the greatest problem is the new card policies as regards limits to its use online. People can't easily do business online. Yes, I think that's a very
that's one very valid point. You know, at times you try to use your card and you get the message you can't, there's a limit on this, or you can't use this, you know, things like that. I know, especially when you want to do transactions on portals outside Nigeria, probably you want to pay in dollars, you know. Things like that should be looked into to encourage, but that's more on the consumer side. I want to talk more on us, Nigerians, selling ourselves, selling our products online. We have very unique products. When you go out and you meet people, you discover that we have very, very unique products which are not visible. Whilst they are going through those, Twitter messages, I just want to chip in something. It's not just getting a shopping cart or having an online shopping website that will just give you that visibility. There's also what we call internet marketing, you know. So you must also do your marketing to reach people. Tell people about your shopping cart or your shopping website. Send SMS. You know, so don't just feel, okay, if I set up a shopping cart and I sit in my house, my shopping cart will be doing business for me. You have to do some bit of work at the beginning, you know, to sell yourself both online and offline. Okay,
Benefactor Ipe says, if we can sell just 20% of made in Nigeria products online, we can grow our GDP by 50%. I don't know that, Benefactor, how you got to that, but I understand what he said. Let's take a look at, like, made in Aba.
Okay.
For example,
yes,
the Aba guys there. How many of their products do we even know? Is there a way we can help them? You know, because most of them there, they do produce those things, made in Aba shoes and all of that. Yeah. Are you getting where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. There is a platform presently, because by virtue of my my work, you know, with so many different platforms, I know one or two platforms. This is their target presently. They have gone to Aba and all these places, you know, to see their products and to begin to bring them online. Most of these persons, they are almost illiterates, you know, so they don't even know how to use their phones except to receive call and to make calls. Okay. You know, for such persons, that platform is going into those nook and crannies to get them involved in e-commerce as well.
Daniel Adegoke says, I should ask you what you have achieved as a software developer. What softwares have you developed?
Well,
mobile or PC?
if you allow me, I will tell them.
Why would you be talking about, I introduce you as a software developer and all of that?
Okay. I
Just
should answer. Okay.
yeah,
Basically, I'm a software developer, and I develop on for mobile platforms, web, desktop, and my company has handled several projects on online shopping carts and all that. So I think that's enough. Except you want me to begin to talk about proficiencies and all that, but that's enough.
Okay, please. Solo Yusuf says, please, how can someone who does not have experience on internet cope in this program? Okay, how can someone without experience on the internet?
You could go for training. You could go for training. There are so many outfits doing training now on use of internet, not just Microsoft Word alone and all that old kind of training. They train it specifically on how to use the internet, how to do marketing, adverts, and all this e-commerce stuff. Okay,
Onyeka Okafor says, Nancy, cybersecurity is key regulation on good quality of goods we buy online. And Ibrahim says, I agree with your guest, e-commerce needs endorsements so people will not be scared of doing business online. That's the much we can take. But let me just ask you this question, because I interviewed Jimo Ibrahim, the GMD of Energy Group, about 2 weeks ago, and I did ask him the question about the Twitter, and he told me Nancy doesn't have a Twitter account. I was like, really? And you own business? He told me the online, like the Facebook, the Twitter, all of them will not be, we won't see them in the next 5, 10 years. And I was like, really? I hope we'll be alive in 10 years' time. I'll take you up on that. What do you think? Very quickly.
I think he's correct, speaking from his own perspective. Now, he's not talking about e-commerce. He's not talking about the internet. The internet is growing, and in the next 10 years, it will be very huge. Then probably we'll not be talking about internet. We're talking about Internet of Things, because
which is what we're
they want to get everything connected: your wristwatch, your shoe, your
with
car,
your phone,
everything.
You can control your TV in your house.
They want to get everything connected to the internet. I think he's talking about, with respect to what you've just said, he's talking about Facebook as a brand, Facebook as an entity.
But we won't see those huge companies again in the next few years.
Probably there's a probability to it. They will evolve. You understand? Yes. We used to celebrate Yahoo some years back, but Yahoo just sold out, to very soon, for just 5 billion naira. That was a company that was worth about 150 billion some 10 years back. So I think his contribution is with respect to the company, the brand, and all that. But I think Facebook, they are positioning to evolve.
Yeah, because they are buying in. I think Facebook.
They are buying in, and apart from buying in, which comes to Synergy, they have developed their brand to become a platform. That is why we see to log into so many sites, you use Facebook login. So it's now a platform, a de facto standard.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we'll continue this discussion on our day. At least we've built a foundation, so to speak. So what our viewers should take away is that you can have your business online, isn't it? Just the way you go on Facebook and other social media. It's not rocket science. Start thinking of that. The Made in Aba guys, we should incorporate that. So many thanks, Ejiro, for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
All right, I've been speaking with Ejiro Gbenedio, of course, a software developer. He was questioned what he has done as a software developer. I hope he's answered your questions, but I think you've taking some things away from today's program. Thank you for your tweets. My phone was actually buzzing. A lot of people are commenting. All right, that's the much we can take. Thank you for joining us today. Please join us again tomorrow, same time. God willing, I and my crew will be here. Be the best you can be that change you want to see. I am Nancy Ilo. God bless Nigeria. Bye now.